In the vast reaches of the Andromeda galaxy, where civilizations flourished and the stars whispered ancient secrets, there existed a shadowy group known only as the Exalthor. An elite class of alien assassins, the Exalthor were renowned across the cosmos for their precision, skill, and deadly efficiency. It was said that no target was too well guarded, no escape too distant. But there was one target, one species that was strictly off-limits: humans. The Exalthor had a strict code, one that forbade them from ever engaging with human life. Their leader, a creature of cold steel and unwavering loyalty, named Drathis, was the embodiment of this code. His species, the Valkyrie, had long avoided humans, even after their initial contact centuries ago. Humans are unpredictable, Drathis had once explained to his fellow Exalthor, his voice resonating with ancient wisdom. They are a danger to the fabric of the galaxy. But more importantly, they are off-limits. No one hunts humans. But codes, no matter how strict, often come under question. As the years went by, whispers spread through the galaxies. Humans were more than just chaotic beings. They were resilient, intelligent, and their technology was rapidly advancing. Some believed they posed a growing threat, others thought of them as an opportunity, a target waiting to be eliminated. It was in this time of uncertainty that the Exalthor received an unthinkable assignment. A human must be eliminated. The mission was simple, at least in its details. A human, Captain Neela Vasquez, had been identified as a threat to the balance of power within the Galactic Union. She was an exceptional strategist, a brilliant tactician, and a formidable force within her fleet. The Exalthor had tracked her movements for years, analyzing every battle she'd fought and won. Her skills were undeniable, her rise to power in the galactic military exceptional. But there was one problem: the Exalthor had always adhered to the code. Drathis had always made it clear humans were off-limits. Despite the protest from his closest allies, Drathis received a message from the leaders of the Galactic Union. They had grown weary of Neela Vasquez's rise. They saw her as a symbol of an upstart human military force, and her influence was becoming a threat. If she wasn't stopped, the Union would risk its dominance. Drathis stood alone on the balcony of his command ship, staring out into the endless expanse of space. His mind churned with thoughts of the past, of the humans he had once encountered. He had seen them struggle, fight, and survive against forces far greater than their own. It was an unrelenting spirit that set them apart from all other species in the galaxy. "Is it time?" a voice behind him asked. He turned to face his second-in-command, Kara, a fierce and loyal warrior. Kara had always been an advocate of strict adherence to the Exalthor code. But she, too, saw the growing potential danger in the rise of human power. "We'll follow the orders," Drathis said, his voice cold. "But I will not hunt her personally. This mission must be carried out by another." Kara narrowed her eyes. "And who would you trust to take on such a task?" "Someone who understands the delicate balance of power," Drathis replied. "Someone who can see through the eyes of the hunter and the hunted. I will not risk the Exalthor code being shattered by a decision born of impatience." The mission was handed over to a younger, skilled assassin named Kala. Kala was known for his ruthlessness, and yet he still adhered to the ancient traditions of the Exalthor. He was given the mission to eliminate Captain Neela Vasquez, but as he prepared, something in the depths of his mind questioned the righteousness of the task. On the distant planet of Glarium, IV Captain Vasquez and her crew made their final preparations for a major assault on a rival faction. Unbeknownst to her, the Exalthor were closing in, their ships silent in the vacuum of space, a dark predator ready to strike. Kala moved through the shadowy halls of the human command ship, blending into the surroundings like a wisp of smoke. His cloak shimmered, rendering him invisible to even the most advanced human detection systems. He had been briefed on Vasquez's movements, her leadership style, and her personal weaknesses. But there was one thing that had not been accounted for: the determination in her eyes. Calla watched as Vasquez strode across the command deck, issuing orders with a calm, commanding presence. She was nothing like the other leaders he had hunted, who would crack under pressure or show fear in their eyes. Vasquez was resolute, her every action deliberate and calculated. "All stations report," Vasquez commanded, her voice steady. "Prepare for battle. This will be the decisive blow." Calla's hand instinctively moved to his weapon, but as he watched her, something within him hesitated. He had watched countless leaders make decisions from the safety of their ships, their lives a mere calculation in the grand scheme of war. But Nila Vasquez, she wasn't like the others. She wasn't calculating her own life. She was calculating the lives of millions. Before he could take another step forward, his communicator beeped with a message from Drathis. Calla listened carefully. Drathis's voice echoed in his ear, stern and unyielding. "I ordered this hit, but understand these humans are off limits. Do not underestimate them. Do not become one of those who seeks to destroy them for personal gain." Calla froze. The weight of Drathis's words hung heavy in the air. The code was clear. No matter the mission, humans were not to be destroyed. And yet, here he was about to take a life that was not to be taken. The silence stretched for a moment as Calla's internal struggle raged. He had never doubted Drathis before. The code had been his life. But in the face of this human, this captain who was leading a rebellion of her own kind, was there truly a choice? Without a word, Calla dropped his weapon to the floor and stepped back into the shadows. The mission was not just a matter of orders, it was a matter of principle. The galaxy might fear the rise of the humans, but the Exalthor Code had never been about fear. It was about respect. And Calla respected Nila Vasquez. The next day, Captain Vasquez awoke to find her sensors buzzing with an alert. There was no sign of an assassin, no sign of danger, just the vast, endless space of the stars before her. She would never know that, in the shadows, a single alien assassin had chosen to spare her life. And the Exalthor would remain silent on the matter, for their code, their beliefs, remained unwavering. Humans are off limits.